Will you look back when you're old and gray and think those dumb kids had a lot to say when we were trying to make this night one you'd remember? I don't care if my wheels don't turn, I don't care if my pipe don't burn, as long as I am flowing through your veins after I'm gone away.
It's Thursday night, and you know what that means.
And it's the third. Well. It's the third Thursday of the month. So what does that mean?
Joker, no.
Usually I try and get away with doing a live one. I don't do
my own joke there.
But
lounge.
It's a lounge episode. So we're joined again by Toast with the Joneses. How you doing, guys?
Hello.
And it's going to be a bit more relaxed this week. We're going to talk about Alton Towers Fireworks and Run Alton Towers. We're going to be talking about the Big Bang experience to an extent. I think we're allowed to.
The Big Bang package.
Yeah, we got the VIP package. So if people want to ask about that, they can ask about it. I think the only thing I won't say is
hi everyone.
I don't want to say too much detail about who gave us the tickets because I don't want people to swamp him thinking they can get stuff of him. But it wasn't Merlin related. Everything we got, in some sense, was paid for by someone and gifted to us. It wasn't given to us by Merlin. That's what I want to make clear.
Say a special thank you to that person. You know who you are. So,
but
very lucky.
I don't know where you want to start, Joneses.
Free food.
Free food. Yeah. Do you want to get the photos up straight away? Pop posters here.
Eat like kings and queens and princesses.
Yeah, I'll get the photos up. We can talk about it. I just wanted to get that out there first. We got a quiz later on as well, guys. So that's happening. But sort this out.
Hang on.
There we go.
Yay. Anyone got any questions? Just ask away in the comments. Hi, Reese Family Adventures. Hi, Ben and Holly. Hi, Pop.
Yeah, Reese, the vlog was really good.
Travel with the Joneses as well.
That. There's a certain mountain in there.
Obviously, coasting with the Joneses. You're in it as well.
So, what were you... Did you have any preconceptions about what this was going to be, this package, before we got there?
I was expecting it to be kind of, certainly the food element of it, I was expecting to be fairly basic and sausage rolls, cocktail sausages, that sort of thing. But it wasn't.
Got a question already.
Your brother says, did the ponchos come in handy?
Yes, very much so. Well, for Darcy. I didn't put the poncho on, but we've kept them anyway. But you're right. Yeah.
I don't think Ruth will be watching. I don't think Ben will mind me saying, but there was a point because you got, I think, each table that had about 6 people on, we got a pack with all the the fast tracks and things in a bag, and you got, I think, 4 adults and 2 kids ponchos for each table, I think. And halfway through the day, Holly from Ben and Holly's Theme Park Ventures took her mum's adult one, and her mum tried to put on what she thought was a normal one. And she's like, why does this not fit me now? It fit me this morning.
I'd just like to add that the bags that were labelled if they're kids or adults as well do come in handy if you wrap them back up. Then at least you know which one if you ever put them in your bag as well. So
Darcy's got an adult one. You can fit like 3 Darcys into it. So.
I can't remember if I picked a photo for that later on, but
Oh, hello.
Gold fast tracks, so it was one on everything basically.
Yeah.
And we got a bit of a heart skipped a beat because we went to the curse and we thought the curse isn't on there, but we were looking for the word the curse and it was just called Alton Manor.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it is on the fast track. That's right.
So if anyone ever gets any fast passes, it is worded differently.
I don't know if one of you wants to talk through not just what's in that photo, but what we got in the package. Do you remember what we got?
Yeah.
That you won't remember, will you?
No, I can't.
So yeah, there was the gold fast pass. There were 2 drinks vouchers. Obviously, there was all that nice foods and snacks on the table. When we got there was like a brunch offering with muffins and pastries and flapjacks.
There you go. There's the flapjacks.
Like flapjacks at the end of the night, wasn't it? Yeah.
And then what else do we have in the bag? The ponchos are in the bag.
The lanyards with the
the lanyards that let us in and out of the hospitality. And the end of the night, you got a Swizzy light up thing for Banner
Yeah,
Fireworks.
which you got somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, it was absolutely packed full of treats. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, look at those pastries.
Yeah. Those pastries.
Yeah, so the pastries were kind of there at the start, they weren't they? Till about, well, were they there all the time?
I think they
We
were
were there all morning till we had a carvery later on, which I've got some photos of, about 4:30. I think they stayed because we could keep going back to this tent, which we did throughout the day.
Just to get warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 2 drinks vouchers.
But Trevor Jones is asking about we were meant to get 2 drinks vouchers each in the bag, but we only got 1 each in our bag, so I had to go and ask for another one. And happened to a few other tables, but I was wearing, if anyone remembers, I'm not wearing it today, the shirt that the Coastal Joneses got me for my birthday, which has got like a pizza on it and vinegar, and it says Reeves Pizza. So it's definitely not an Alton Towers shirt. When being served by this woman getting my drinks voucher, someone else came up and went, "Sorry, can you sort this out?" I'm like, "I don't work here," and I just put it in my shirt. I don't work here.
I think what made it even worse is you weren't even wearing a red coat or anything.
No.
They normally wear red coats, don't they, or black fleece? You weren't even wearing that.
There's a pop badge in the bag as well, isn't there? There's a Big Bang pop badge or fireworks pop badge.
And they got that separately from the staff.
I thought
Yeah,
that
because Dan tried to ask for about 6, and they were like, "No, you can't have 6."
Yeah, it was supposed to be in.
Yeah. Oh, and we had the photo passes as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we got a little QR code, didn't we? So our photos were already paid for them already, didn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. You basically just put the QR code and then added the photos onto your account, and they were already free. You just download them.
Yeah. And when you get off the ride, it's the code that you put in on that thing, on the app or whatever.
This is a screenshot from my vlog. It just looks like I didn't realise you were pointing at her. I just tried to show how big the poncho was on.
It's like I'm pointing, going massive.
Anyone doesn't know,
I don't know why. It just looks like I'm doing
the ponchos have got buttons down the side, so you can make the sleeves into sleeves. But she was adamant she wouldn't do them up, so it's like Mexican poncho.
It get you a bit dry though, doesn't it?
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah, we found one of the ponchos screwed up in the bag the other day. And we took out the rucksack. It was a bit smelly. So that's a bit.
Oh, did you actually take the bag home?
So in my rucksack, I shoved the poncho, the wet poncho, in my rucksack and forgot to dry it out when we got home. So, yeah.
Did you manage to get the actual tote bag as well? Who got the tote bag in your group?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Laura finished that. Yeah, it's got a nice bag.
Yeah.
Travel with the Jones put wine.
No, we've already answered that.
And then did you go in different area to standard people while watching fireworks?
Oh yeah, well that was a bit awkward, wasn't it? That felt a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like an area right at the front, almost like up against the lake. And was it about 20 to 7 when the fireworks started at 7 when we were all escorted?
Yeah, we got escorted. Yeah. And I know what you mean. It was a bit, because it's just like a
I think it was
rectangle of space that's cornered off in front of everyone else that's no one in it. And when there was about, I reckon there was probably about 150, 200 people on VIP. Something like that.
Yeah, and I don't think some of the people that had been waiting up against the fence that thought they were right at the front for the fireworks realised that other people were going to come and stand in front of them a bit later.
Yeah, there were a few people given the staff grief about that.
I think it's those that are short of stature as well that have made all that effort and stood in the rain there, because we weren't blessed with the weather that day, were we?
Put in perspective though, I don't know if anyone can see me down here, but we were at the front, but round the sides of that VIP bit, you can still get to the front.
Yeah.
You're just not in the centre. So if you're not on VIP, you can still get to the sides at the front. But
so it's just like a little rectangle in the centre, like you said.
it was nice not having to wait from like 5:30 onwards.
Yeah.
That was the best thing. You were just sitting inside the tent talking to friends or whatever, and then when it's time to go to watch fireworks, just went out. And then after the fireworks, we went back in. I don't think we could get back until about 8 o'clock, was it?
Yeah, to open up that pathway.
And they had like soup and a roll, didn't they? After the fireworks.
Yeah.
That's quite nice, the soup in the roll. Yeah.
A nice little addition, I thought. After
I've got Ben. I'll go back to Ben running the space opera later on. I tried to get. Yeah, I didn't take actual photos in people's faces. Mainly when I was taking photos of the carvery or filming, I just kind of held it in one hand and hoped I got some footage.
I think everyone didn't get a chance to either take photos or even video a review of the food that we got, but we were so lucky.
Well, I was just like, I'm getting it, eating it.
Yeah, everyone's like, just get in my mouth.
It can't
'cause it's
be
just-
can't be
It
Aramark
was
though.
such nice food.
It can't be Aramark though, can it?
No, it was proper nice, wasn't it?
Mm.
I didn't try that.
That was the beef stew, I think it was.
No, it was honey glazed gammon, Gareth.
Ooh.
You saw in the background there. It wasn't
Mm.
pulled pork. It was honey glazed. That was just like the end of it where it looked like it had been destroyed by
Yeah,
a dog.
it was proper like soft gammon as well.
Oh, the 3 lightsabers, yeah.
Yeah, the lightsabers.
Some of us got spinny things. Some of us got lightsabers.
Mhm.
The spinny things look like they could have your eye out, really, but that's what it's all about, isn't it? With kids?
They're not that damaging.
I don't know.
actually.
There's a bit in Coast with the Joneses vlog. Got this on their channel now. Where, spoiler alert: Darcy actually hits herself, with it. And it looked quite painful, to be fair.
She's got no sense. Well, there's no sense. There's no feeling.
Oh, the good thing about the chef, like the chefs that were here, I remember Ben said at one point. I think Dan from Ginger and Brown said as well.
It was me
They
as
asked
well.
him how to do, like, you see the carrots in the
It
background
was me
there.
as well. They were like giving
So
you
just-
pointers
yeah.
how to cook them.
There we go again.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, you had the roast potatoes, and they were telling you how to cook them, the carrots as well. And then I'm sure they mentioned about the mashed potato. No, not mashed potato.
The mashed potato was like
What
smash.
else were they mentioning? They mentioned something else like how to cook it as well, and it was just brilliant. But obviously, Dan from Ginger and Brown,
And also from Scram with Dan.
he's got his own other Instagram, Scran with Dan, and he says he might.
He said 10 out
He
of 10
kept
though.
going all
be
the
fair.
time.
But when Dan was explaining how they were chopping the gammon, I was in tears. He was so funny.
What did you say?
He was saying that when the guy started chopping it, he said something like, "Oh no, slower, mate, slower."
Because
It was cracking me up.
it was unlimited as well, wasn't it? Like, people were going back. I didn't go back for seconds on that, but people were going back.
No, I didn't notice. I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't go back seconds, but I had enough on first plate to go for seconds.
I
Looks
did.
a bit. That guy looks a bit demonic because I've got the light where his eyes are.
So greedy.
Now, do you think there were a couple of people just like this in like disco ball suits, I guess you call it.
You weren't a fan of that, were you, Darcy? There's a bit on our video where one sits at a table and Darcy just backs off. You weren't too happy with it, were you?
Oh no.
What are you going to say?
To be honest, I'm not a fan. But this photo where it's been taken, it kind of looks like Ellie dressed up going, Emily Alton. I don't know why.
Well, I was going to ask the Joneses. Do you think one of the two
think
guys
it's
was hair gone?
Not
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
I don't know. One of them was reacting to us as if he recognised us, but
Yeah.
then the other one wasn't at
Yeah.
all. So I did wonder if one of them was one of the Towers entertainers.
Yeah, not surprised if they were.
I thought one of them was like the mayor guy because he like looks like it.
Who's the nerd guy?
The mayor.
I don't want to say his
Oh, the
proper.
mayor. Okay, I get you, from Halloween Town.
Yeah, the one who plays the monk as well.
Oh, and he was the caller on Mardi Gras when we went that day.
Hey,
wasn't he, on
Mardi
the
Gras.
DJ set.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's been there for
That feels like a lifetime ago now.
Oktoberfest.
Mardi
for
Gras.
Hagon, yeah.
so many good events at Towers this year.
Did you get? You can't see it in this shot, but on my vlog I try to get a bit of a shot because he's behind this guy. But there was like a roving magician. We didn't get him come to our table. Did you get him?
No.
I tried to. I kind of he looked at me and then he blanked me and walked off. So
Ooh.
he also didn't like the look at us. Yeah, but I was watching what he was doing on the table. So he was quite good to be fair.
Yeah, because when I first saw him, I thought he was just someone like another guest. I'm like, why is he stood up doing all this stuff? And then he went to a different table. I was like, oh, it's something that's been put on by Towers. But we didn't get to see. It would have been good to vlog that. Maybe someone's vlogged it. What did you think of the 2 desserts there?
I only tried the sticky toffee pudding.
Yeah, I had the sticky toffee one.
Well, it was really good.
You had the other one, didn't you? The cheesecake.
It's not very nice. It was like too
It
It was really rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a mousse cake than a cheesecake, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it James with sent with us? Didn't he have like 4 portions of sticky toffee? He kept going back and
It
back.
was good, yeah.
It doesn't surprise me.
But the other one looks
saying how
really
much he loves
fancy.
sticky toffee pudding.
The other one was s'mores, but didn't it have orange in it as well,
It was an orange flavoured cheesecake.
with like marshmallow s'more on the top, and it looked more impressive. But yeah, the sticky toffee and the custard was much better And that you could go back as much as you wanted as well, which I went back a couple of times for that. But
I just ate the one, I think.
But yeah, I don't think anyone liked the cheesecake.
I thought the cheesecake was okay, but it did feel quite heavy on the stomach, so I think only half that size would have sufficed.
I'm just glad we didn't do any rides directly after the carvery. I was quite calm, but we just stayed there for a bit and chilled.
Yeah. Did you feel like you wanted to fall asleep as well after eating all that food?
After the fireworks, yeah, when we were sitting there in the teepot, I was like, yeah, I could just chill out here for the rest of the night. But then I was like, there's Wicker Man at night. Can't do that.
I felt like, for me, it felt like Christmas. You just had your Christmas dinner, so to speak, and you're like, I could just like nod off right now. And it was so cozy in there as well.
I said it in the vlog. It felt like we were at someone's wedding. The quality of everything that was going on and all the stuff you had.
But with the lanyards, it was you and Ben. And I'm just saying this out loud, but you and Ben look like school kids because you're both talking about, so what's the schedule? Oh, what are we doing about this?
You had the schedule on the actual lanyard.
Have you got it on
as
yours?
well.
Yeah. And you're just like looking at each other like they're test papers or something.
But blasphemy.
It was so funny.
I know this is going to come back to bite me because people use it like the vinegar thing to poke fun at me, but I absolutely hate it when they say this, and it was on the agenda at one point. I've not got the lanyard, it's downstairs. We had a big bit on the lanyard, and on the back of it, it said the schedule for the day, and there's a bit where it says such and such a time, free time to join the other guests on park, and I hate the phrase on park. I just don't like it. I was just like, no. And Dan from Ginger and Brown's the same. I showed him, I was like, no, they've printed that.
In the park?
You can do, yeah. On park's
So
just
okay
not.
with in the park, just not.
Just don't like on park, but I think I'm the only one. I think I'm the only one that doesn't like that. Yeah, it was. Yeah, Ben.
What did you guys think of the actual fireworks themselves?
I actually took some shots from my vlog, but I liked the Mutiny Bay bit was the best. But it was a weird show. I mean, it's not like anyone's going to watch it for the first time.
I'm going to say I'm going to compare it to other years, and for me,
it was probably one of the worst.
Yeah,
like
it wasn't the best.
By Alton Towers standards, I thought it was really low. But as a fireworks show, it was better than most things you're going to see outside of Alton Towers.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you're going to stay, I'm so happy though that the water effects are back. That was the main one that we mentioned. I think last year was, I hope the water effects are back, and they're back.
They're right.
So I quite like that, and that was a really good effect with like Emily Alton.
Yeah,
and the fireworks going off. So I managed to get a photo on mine where she's just got her arms out.
Yeah, she put her arms out, Emily Alton, and the fireworks.
And it was timed really well, that. And then I enjoyed that one, and the Mutiny Bay one was good.
Yeah, the Emily Alton bit, it looked much better in person than it does on anybody's videos. You can't really.
I think it's the same with the drones last year. They looked much better in person.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting the drones back this year because
I think everyone was. There was talk about they'd got permission for air control to do like practicing during the season, and people thought there'd be more drones.
Yeah, there's a whole weekend where they blocked out like airspace above towers. Kind of, was it like May, June time?
Yeah.
Do you think we're going through I don't know if people in the comments want to say this as well. Do you think we're going through a phase where? And I don't know if I don't know. I can't remember his first name, and I apologise. But the guy's second name's Burton. I don't know if it's him doing it, but it feels like we're getting trolled a lot, and stuff they're saying or hinting at, they're not actually doing. They're just doing it to troll everyone.
I think Ben's had first-hand experience of that at Nemesis weekend before last.
I feel like with the RMC thing, I don't know if they're going to get an RMC, like a small one, maybe.
My theory with the RMC is it's not Towers, it's going to be Chessington maybe. Because Scorpion Express is probably leaving the park over the closed season. And
that's that Moose coaster, the new small model.
Yeah, that's what I reckon it'll be. It won't be there's no way they can fit a full RMC in Towers or Chessington.
Like they can't tease that forever because eventually people will get annoyed.
Well, if it doesn't happen, I'm kind of disowning John Byrne. I'm kind of unfollowing him from all socials.
But like, watch your time.
He doesn't watch the show. It's fine.
10 years time, going, damn, I need to.
No, this time next year, if there's no announcement about RMC, he's getting an unfollow.
The thing is, with the coffee cup that he had in his hand on that advertisement, and as he was like joking, going, "Oh yeah," you actually get that from like the conventions that they go to as like a freebie.
By Apple, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think it's legit.
It's got a kind of no. It might be. I mean, we've gone off topic a bit now, but what did you think of the fireworks show?
We went to see the Nemesis one last year, but before that we hadn't been for a few years. But don't get me wrong, this year's fireworks was epic. If you were going to see a fireworks show, it's by far the best one to go and see in the UK, in my opinion. But last year, the Nemesis one had the screens dotted around, and it just felt a bit more immersive. There was kind of stuff happening on the screens. There was the fireworks, the lasers. This year, it did seem a little bit watered down. But saying that, there was enough new stuff in there, like with the water effect with Emily, and then the cannons and the Mutiny Bay bit to kind of make up for that. But yeah.
The lasers were quite cool as well this year. I like the way that they were quite low over your head to do like different effects.
Yeah, it did feel a little bit scaled back compared to the one they did last year, but it was still an absolutely awesome fireworks show.
It makes me wonder if they've like looked at people on social media and like picked different bits of what people liked about fireworks and then put it together.
It didn't seem like that.
But I think if they're going to state it's a story, make it a story. For me, it just felt like it was a random mashup of things, and then all of a sudden we had like Smiler fireworks going off. I was like, are they going to go through the big six? And then no, they didn't.
Did it not seem
Smiler?
Did it not seem weird?
It left me a bit confused.
Did it not seem weird the selection they had? They're like Mutiny Bay and Katanga Canyon with a slightly racially insensitive accent for the Katanga Canyon bit, and then the curse was good, but it was I was surprised I didn't see anything Nemesis. At the end, they kind of teased it. It went all red. And it was like, no, it's just all about the king.
I think every single person standing there was waiting for a Forbidden Valley section. That just didn't happen. I think for me, that's why it wasn't as good as last year. I think they could have easily tied something Nemesis related.
Well, even then, was it last year they did a video at the end, wasn't it?
About on the day
fact
too,
that it was closed and the date. And
yeah, well, we were there on the Sunday last year because we basically went for that. But we were kind of thinking this year we felt that they were going to do it over the 3 days, which they kind of did do, I suppose, with the kind of breaking down the fence around Nemesis and stuff.
I agree though, on the Mutiny Bay one, that the lasers look like waves, the way that the smoke went around as well. That looked quite cool.
What did you think about the end of the Mutiny Bay?
The flames as well.
The explosions, they were.
Yeah.
This is the thing I can remember most about that entire day. Is when that explosion went off at the end, you just turned to me and you said, was that meant to happen?
Yeah, like, we witnessed something that we're not meant to see. The way that last explosion went off, it was just like, oh.
Yeah, something's broke.
But you really felt it as well. It was like punching you in the chest when it went off, wasn't
it? Travel with the Joneses just put Christmas scale back at Towers so much, but then he put, I would have thought they would have revealed new name for Nemi.
Is it going to open on? Is it going to open on the 30th? Are they going to open it late so people all rush there for opening weekend? They get a load of money, and then go, it's actually opening next weekend, and then they all rush again. You get a load of money. It's John Burton.
That means I have to make 2 trips to Towers.
What's that?
That means I have to make 2 trips to Towers.
Well, yeah, exactly. I don't know if I'll even ride it till halfway through the year. I don't. It depends. I'm not going to queue ages for it. I'm not. I think that's a perfect example to ride Wicker Man.
I just hope Nemesis and Hyperion don't open on the same weekend because that'd be a nightmare.
I think that's probably the point, isn't it? So Thorpe just take away.
Nah, but they have to do it on different weekends to get the people going there. Sure.
Yeah, to get the
Thorpe normally opens on Thursday, doesn't it, or Friday? It's not on the Saturday, I don't think.
Oh yeah, but I can imagine if the first weekend's the same weekend, they might.
Yeah.
Although they're owned by the same company, they kind of compete a lot, and I can imagine they'll just because I'm more excited for Hyperion, if I'm honest. Just I don't think Nemesis is going to be bad, but
I think it'll be better in terms of the experience. Obviously, the ride is the ride. It is what it is. But yeah, Hyperion just looks like next level coaster. It looks insane.
Do you think they'll keep up the quality of Nemesis if there is a pre-show and if there is all this other stuff? Do you think they'll give it care and attention, or after a couple of years they'll just let it?
It'll look like Smiler after about 3 or 4 years. Yeah, right, it needs power off.
Talking about opening weekend, do you remember when I think it was on opening day, or like the first day we got to ride Wicker Man, I think, and I turned to
Yeah,
everyone.
that was after my surgery, wasn't it?
And I think I turned to everyone, and we were James and Steve, some other people, and I just said, I can't wait till Secret Weapon, because that was Secret Weapon 8, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When I can't wait till Secret Weapon 9. And they're like, what do you mean? I went, because when there's another new ride, this won't get as much attention. I can ride this all day, and there'll be no queues. So I've been waiting for something like Nemesis Retrack.
Yeah.
So I can just go and ride Wicker Man all day.
It's a bit like getting the latest console, isn't it? Everyone wants to get the latest console, and you're like, I'll wait for the reduced ones and buy the next one down, and then I've got the next one down, and it's reduced.
Talking about Wicker Man, that ride at the end of the day, the night ride.
Do you want to tell people about that night ride we had at the end of the day?
Yeah, well, I've been on Wicker Man a few times later in the day, and we actually got a night ride on Wicker Man when we went in Scarefest, was it?
Scarefest one evening, yeah.
And it was fast. But when we went on that night, I think it was because it was raining, maybe, it was just so fast. Literally, I've never been a Wicker Man where it's felt like that before. It was just insane. It was. I was thinking, like, I've been thinking about it ever since, and I know we've been there last weekend and gone on it again, but it was the single best roller coaster ride I've ever had at Towers on any coaster. It was just insane.
I just remember at the time.
Hey, Ginger and Brown.
I think
as well. They've just come in time.
Ginger and Brown were
Wicker
there,
Man.
I think. Yeah, Ginger and Brown were there for the last ride on Wicker Man. We were just talking about the last ride on Wicker Man.
They were
but
filming our reviews.
I just remember we came off it, and there were some expletives from Andy when we were on it, because he was sat behind me. But I remember when we came off it, he said, I was on there thinking we're going to be on the news.
It literally felt, we got like 3/4 of the way around. I was thinking, this doesn't feel right because it's too fast.
So fast.
It actually scared me a little bit.
Yeah, actually, Ginger and Brown were on it, because I remember Paris had to grab her hat. She was like,
and they were asking for a review at the end.
Yeah,
also, I'm going to give it a quick plug. I think Ginger and Brown doing their lives again on Friday soon. It might be this Friday.
Yay!
Let's chill out at some point. But yeah, carry on, Andy.
But yeah, it was just the best coaster ride I've ever had at Towers, and it was just awesome. It's just, yeah, it was beyond anything I've ever had before.
Did it feel like the side was trying to come off the track on that last corner?
There was periods where it felt like the whole train was just hovering above the track. So on the airtime hill just before you go through Big Bob for the second time. That sounds wrong, by the way. But it just felt like it was just airborne for like the entire length of that bit of track. It was just crazy good. But then I think was Ben on the next train. They weren't on the same one as us, were they?
They might have been, yeah.
Yeah, it was the one.
When they came off, they said it didn't feel as fast.
I don't know if it's because of the weight. Maybe we had a lot of adults in ours. But yeah, that was the best ride I've ever been on.
I'm laughing because it was insane. And I just remember you sound like you are now, Andy. So calm, going, bloody hell. It's like, oh my gosh, how do you sound so calm?
Jesus Christ, so.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a bit like the first time I went on Avalanche at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, where it starts off and it's just like meandering, it's really slow, and it gets faster and faster and faster to the point where you're like, is this normal?
Yeah.
Like
Did you feel it on the double dip as well?
Yeah. It was just.
It felt like it was, detaching.
What did Laura think of it? Wicker Man.
Yeah, it scared the life out of me. It did. Yeah, I was probably as scared as I am on like going on Grand National and stuff in Blackpool when I think they're going to derail at any minute. Yeah, I was just completely shocked. I just got out. I couldn't speak for quite a while when I came up because I just didn't know what to say.
What do you like it?
I remember when Paris came with the camera saying, what did you think, guys? And then some of you were like, ooh.
We need time to comprehend what's happened.
Yeah.
What do you think of it, Daz? Good. Is that it? Just good? That's your review?
Did it scare you?
Did it scare you? You had a headache, didn't you? Did it give you a headache?
Yeah.
Yes.
They should sell paracetamol in the shop.
I think I said quite a few expletives. That was the first ever time I make a joke and say it's the world first.
And we got the photo for free as well.
My world first of swearing on a roller coaster. Yeah.
So what did you think when we got to go back for soup?
Well, it was a bit confusing initially because when we went to get soup, I grabbed the soup, I grabbed the roll and some butter, but there's no plates or knives.
Yeah, it's in the vlog. It's in my vlog.
The bread and the thing of butter. It's really awkward. And then I noticed the plates and knives were just off to the other side.
Yeah, they appeared afterwards, didn't they? Yeah, but like it was like proper like posh layout with like white linens and stuff for the actual main meal.
And a 10-year-old.
And then
Yeah, I
into the soup, and it was like I had to go feral because there was no cutlery.
I remember in my vlog I said it felt
Is
it
that
felt
what
like
the ponchos are for? You spread it out on the table while you have your soup on top of it.
I said it at the time. It felt like I've gone from being at a wedding to being at a soup kitchen. Just a different total contrast.
That was funny. It's like I think it was cream of tomato soup.
Yeah.
It was so too stiff
And
stuff.
like a roll with it. But it was nice to do after because they didn't have. I'm not saying that was a lot of stuff to do, but they didn't have to do that after everything else we had in the package anyway.
Yeah, it was good to go back there because whilst we were in there, the crowds filtered out a little bit, didn't they? So,
Yeah.
Quite
They did have time.
Ginger and Brown are asking, how was the soup? They were too stuffed to have any.
Yeah, it was nice soup.
After tea puddings.
Don't get me wrong, it wasn't Heinz tomato soup. I think it was a different brand.
I'd love if it was. I'd love there was just loads of cans out the back, and you're like, no, I can tell the difference.
It tasted like it to me. I thought it was.
Yeah, I thought it was Heinz.
I don't know.
Oh, we're gonna have to get in touch with Alton Towers at some point and say, oi, is it
We
Heinz?
don't have Heinz at home. We have Marks and Spencer's, so we wouldn't know anyway.
I do.
It'll be like the bachelor's soup, isn't it, or something like that? You know, like cup of soup, sort of thing. Heinz 57.
Yeah, isn't that what you also call
Ketchup.
a dog who's mixed breed?
That's the ketchup.
Wouldn't be surprised. Just add some hot water to it.
It's just ketchup.
Has Dan been drinking ketchup from a cup for the last 20 years?
No, I think he's had a couple of pints of spatten again because he's got some at home. So Run Alton Towers, this was your first time going to Run Alton Towers, wasn't it?
Just to clarify, there was no running involved.
No,
Not from us, no.
Yeah, so it's the first time recommended by you because it's a really quiet day at Alton Towers.
They advertise it as Alton Towers with no queues, and just for anyone who's never been, there are a lot more people that know about it now. So it's not going to be as good as it was the first 2 years. It's just not. That's not going to happen anymore, unless people get put off that went this year. But I don't know.
To be fair, it was a really good experience. It was a really good day, even though it was really busy and we didn't actually get that many rides. But it was just nice to see towers being used for a different purpose. If that makes sense. It was a weird experience. It was quite cool.
It didn't feel like it was organised as well as last year, though. Do you want to tell people what happened when you were getting to Alton Towers?
Yeah, so we were aiming. The sat nav said we were going to get there for about 8:30, because we wanted to get there on time to make sure we could kind of get in early. And then we stopped off at the supermarket or something. And then when we got back in the car, it all gone red on the sat nav. And I was like, "Why is that red?" And when I zoomed in, there was a 10-mile queue in every single direction from Towers, all the way through Alton, all the way back to kind of a few touches to that way. And we followed the sat nav foolishly, which took us down this single track road, which was barely big enough for the car. And we just came to a stop about 3 miles away from Towers and sat there for about half an hour. It was just the reason why it was so busy was on the main entrance into Towers. There's normally 2 lanes going in the mornings, and they cordoned the lane off, ready for the runners to do the run. But so there's 4 roads trying to filter into this one lane, and it was just bedlam. It was kind of needless as well. That was the most frustrating thing. They could have just moved those cones for half an hour to the majority of the people in, because obviously we weren't doing the run, so we were just there to go on the rides, which obviously happened later in the day. But there's a lot of people in kind of the cars in front of us and behind us that were literally getting out and running to Towers, just kind of discarding the car at the side of the road. And I felt a bit sorry for them. They probably been waiting to do that run all year.
Yeah, they don't think it's cheap to do it either, is it?
No.
Isn't it like close to 50 quid or something to do the run?
Yeah.
Just to clarify, that was down the road from Towers. They weren't getting out of their cars on the driveway into Towers. This was on the actual roads.
This was on the actual roads, dotted around. But the road we were on, people weren't leaving the cars. They were just leaving the other half in the car.
A single lane.
Yeah, there's a guy sitting in the car behind us, just got changed in his car, completely naked, got his clothes off, got his running clothes on, and then everybody's walking past and looking inside the car. It's like, oh god. But yeah,
how did the staff get there?
Our staff would have been all right. It kind of kicked off about 8:30.
But I know when we first arrived at about 20 past 10? I think we're on the monorail about 20 past 10, and they'd already pushed the start time back to 10:30, I think, at that point.
Yeah, they pushed it back a couple of times, but weird because we were at the start/finish line, and the guy on the microphone trying to keep everyone's spirits up was like, "Oh yeah, guys, it's been delayed till 10:15," and then like 20 seconds later, "Just so you know, guys, it's been delayed." And they got delayed to 10:30, and I was like, "This didn't happen last year." And then obviously there's a children's race after the main race as well, so
Yeah.
main race takes roughly about an hour. I'd say most people were going to run that in an hour.
But I think it caused a bit of complications where if you're like a grown up and then you have your children wanting to do the child's run, then
Oh no, they delayed the child's run till after the other one was done.
I would say it was very.
I was surprised there were
tricky,
people
but they
still
did change.
starting the race after people had finished it.
Yeah, so what they were doing, I think, because when we got off the monorail, actually went into Towers. Tower Street had been closed off already, so you couldn't get kind of anywhere past the bottom of Tower Street. So obviously we wanted to come and meet you guys, but we couldn't get anywhere near.
Yeah.
But what they were doing is they were telling the people that are arriving to do the run to kind of go to the side of the track. They were then letting the runners across the track, and then they were filtering back kind of to the start and then starting the race. But at this point, they were already like half an hour behind everybody else. But yeah, there's still a lot of people coming through when we were standing there like an hour and a half later.
Yeah. I think even when we were like with the children's one, there was still like the odd parents, well, not parents, but grown-ups that came later on as well in the day that was still running the first, the 10K. So
it seems like they should have told people to get there earlier.
The children and the ones doing the 10K together at one point, but obviously it wasn't chaos. It was just odd like 10 adults probably at one point with all the children running past them.
Would you go again?
It's quite expensive. The thing that frustrated me most, it wasn't the organisation and getting in. That didn't really bother me. It is what it is. The thing that bothered me the most was ride availability. It just seemed a bit lacking.
I was really disappointed about the curse. I was looking forward to going on the curse, and then to get there and find out it just wasn't going to open for the whole weekend.
And it wasn't maintenance. They just decided not to open that. They could have opened.
The staff were probably in the queue outside somewhere.
Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't just a curse. There was, at the start of the day, there was quite a few rides.
13 wasn't up much at all, was it?
Subterra closed all day as well. I think it was, wasn't
it? I think it did a few times.
Yeah.
I also just want to say a massive shout out to all the runners as well, because we were clapping and cheering as well at the finish line, and even when they started to do the 10K. Absolutely proud of every single one of them because I put it on my socials.
Yeah, well, we were on the bridge kind of going between Recently Bay and where the start line was. As Ben crashed. And to be fair, Ben's a machine. He just like smiled and waved at us like he was just walking. That was on the return leg of the run as well.
It was doing that thing like out of the first Incredibles film, when Dash isn't allowed to run full speed because he's not allowed to make the others look bad. I think Ben wasn't actually running 100% because he didn't want to make the others look bad, but he was still looking like he was just doing.
To Holly as well for doing the children's race. Did well on that as well.
Yeah, absolutely smashed it, guys. Real proud of you. There's that and our friend Richard as well, and then there's Chris from Roller Coasters Are Us.
And Neve did it on the second day.
Yeah, so well done.
And Jamie from Fantasmic Adventures. I don't think they let the public cross for them. I think Andy was saying they did at some point, but for the majority of it, they weren't letting you on the.
Yeah.
Actually, do you want to tell that story about the phone?
And Disney and UK as well.
Oh, So that was when we went for Ben to run past. And everybody was sticking hands out as the runners went past to get high five. But this guy kind of leaned over and started videoing with his phone. But the guy running thought he was giving him a high five and just volleyed the phone out of his hand.
I mean, that footage looks great.
I think the phone survived, but yeah, the guy didn't look very impressed.
You've been on? It's just a close-up photo, really. But you'd been on. I can't remember what it's called now. The Go Jetters thing. Is it just called Go Jetters?
Go Jetters.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's got a funky name as well.
Yeah, Go Jetters.
You've been on that. I would assume you've been on that before.
Yeah. So that was one of the first rides we took Darcy on. The very first time she ever went to Towers, which was tiny.
So I had to get this photo quick because they made an announcement we weren't allowed to have cameras out on this intense ride. But I took this photo because I got in a random car and I've got like South African heritage, so I was proud of that. I thought that was quite cool. I don't know what country did you get, Andy? Because I made a thing of telling everyone in that group. There's a different flag.
Yeah, I got France.
Yeah, I'm there going, did you get Spain?
I don't know if-
France.
I don't know if there's any.
You're making like castanet shapes to me, and I was like, I said France.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any enthusiasts out there who are into like trying to ride each car because they've all got a different flag in the front. But yeah,
I'm just glad it went up in the air because the first time I took Darcy on it years ago, we were stuck at the bottom all the way around.
Oh.
was that because it wasn't working or because she didn't want to go in the air?
I think it was gravity working against me at the time.
You'll have to ride it and find out if there's a Welsh one. Travel with the Joneses.
It's good fun.
I think I've been on the.
It's like being on the elephants in.
I've been on the.
Chessington?
I've only ridden it a few
No,
times.
elephants
I've
in
had the Union Jack one before, and I've had Mexico. Because I remember the first time I rode it, that's when I questioned the flags and thought, are they all different? Because I got on and thought, why has it got a flag of Mexico out of all the countries it could have? And then I realised when I got off that it was like, oh, they've all got different ones. But that's a cool little thing. I might do a tick chart and see if next season I can ride. Let's do that. Let's do that challenge next year, everyone. Try and ride each flagged car in there.
Yeah, and then tag us in.
Yeah, we'll try and do it as well.
I like the near takeover of Furchester that we did as well.
Oh, I've got photos outside. What? Because you'd done Furchester before, and I'd done it, but I don't think Ben had done it. I don't know if he's going to put it in the comments, but I think he was pleasantly surprised by it.
I think he was enjoying it.
Apparently, they wanted to because
He
Ben
was
went
enjoying
again on the Sunday, and they wanted to do it, but it was shut. And Lee, a friend of ours, joked that it was shut for winter maintenance. Tell people at home what you think about the Furchester. I think it's great, but
That's you talk about Furchester. You like Furchester, don't you? You don't like it. You do like it.
Mm,
You
It's
like
really
the
cool,
Furchester. It's
isn't it?
really cool. You've done that ever since you were really tiny.
I used to hate it.
Well, I remember when you were little, pushing other kids out of the way to get those cookies. Yeah, it's a weird concept for towers, and I don't think
Furchester. Next time we go, if we go at the same time, don't go on Furchester, Ginger and Brown. I'd love to film your reaction before and after. You're not allowed to film in there, but I'm not going to ruin any of.
Just we want your review.
I kind of don't want to tell them what's it.
Yeah, if you're not being on it and they're likely to, don't say anything.
Yeah, I think it's really. We used to go. I think last season we went on every trip we went. We made a thing of going. We just think it's great.
All Dan needs to know is his emergency cookies.
But I'd rather they wait. I want to get their reaction now.
Yes, let's do it.
But Furchester is great. Once you've done Furchester, you kind of think that's been here the whole time, and then you kind of that's what we did, didn't we? And then we just wanted to go back.
Yeah.
CBBS is open during the Christmas event, so if Ginger and Brown are available.
Oh, Furchester is open during Christmas. Yeah, I might. Are there pass holder tickets for Christmas or not?
Yeah, we got some.
Yeah, we got some. Yeah, for the 25th.
Right, okay. I might get down there for Themeatic is not great. Someone in our group got very injured by getting hit in the eye, which I didn't think was possible, but it happened. It was really bad. I won't say any more than that. But
It's the same as
The one with the balls.
What's the one in Chesterton called that's the same?
I can't think what it's called, but yeah, there is one in
Just in
Chessington.
house. In Alton Towers.
Yeah, but there's one in Chesterton which is the same.
Yeah.
Isn't that called like?
yeah, we'll set out a date. We'll do a takeover because we're thinking about doing.
We'll DM each other about it.
Yeah.
Get a group involved.
Shall we? Is there anything else you want to say about the run event?
It was quite muddy.
That was another thing. The guy, when we got there, we went to walk on because we went to meet some of the other people we knew who were running it. And we went to go on the lawns, and they got these white plastic things all over the place, like they've had at the events. And the first thing the guy says to me, he's working there, goes, watch out on the plastic, it's slippery. And I'm thinking, that's what they put down to stop us slipping over the grass. What's the point if that's slippery?
We had one guy before the beginning of Alton Towers Run, and they were saying, watch out for that bit of plastic. So we went a bit more towards like the main stage, and then all of a sudden, this one guy's this runner's looking at his phone, and he just literally just slips over completely on the plastic.
Yeah, I missed that. I thought
And
someone on
everyone
stage
went,
slipped.
ooh, really loudly, and I was like, oh. So yeah.
And also there was some freebie
awkward.
tents, I think, and the I can't remember what the brand was, but the lip balm one had a massive queue. like insane. I don't know if they were offering other stuff like free beer with the lip balm or something, but the lip balm had a massive
Yeah,
queue.
they had like a little pack. It was like lip balm and other little bits and bobs. But then also there was someone giving away foam fingers and things like that as well, and clappers. Clapping
We'll have to look up. He gave me his business card. I've still got it.
Yes.
The guy who was selling coats there, because I had some good coats.
Dry robes.
But, yeah, I didn't know what dry robes were. It just turns out they're just coats.
Neither did I.
I thought they would look like puffer jackets or something, but I've got a quiz here. I think it's going to be really easy. So I don't know. I think we're probably going to breeze through this. I've got a photo quiz. I've zoomed in on characters. Some of them might be real people. And I think you're going to get them all. And because the theme is kind of like fireworks, running. So there are other characters who are to do with fire or running. But you just got to tell me who they are. But that was like the little theme I went with.
Fire or running. Okay.
That's not relevant. That's just telling you why I picked those characters. But
are you ready, Darcy?
Yeah, Rebecca's quite close because it's quite small on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you. All right, let's have a look.
Miss Hamilton.
I think I'm going to get through these quick. There's only 10. So we let Andy do the next one.
Yeah.
I don't know what the next one is. I can't remember the order.
5 and Sam.
Oh, he's going to get them all.
Oh, I should have known the Welsh name for that, shouldn't I?
What was the Welsh name?
I don't know, but he was a Welsh cartoon originally.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Is that off Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
I know who it is.
I know who it is.
Ursula? No.
Wasn't it? It was voiced by the guy. I can't remember the guy's name.
He was in.
Oh, it's a guy.
Can I mention the film?
Yeah, you can mention the film.
He was in Hercules.
What's that?
Disney's Hercules.
Oh no.
You know,
Reed
Well,
Family Adventures has got it.
It was voiced by what's the?
Whoa, is my hair out?
Yeah,
That
it's
bit.
I can't remember the guy's name, the actor, but they named his I think his last name's Woods, and they named the school after him in Family Guy. I can't remember what his name is now.
Oh,
James L. Wood, is it, or something like that? I can't remember, but he's voiced by him. He's
Hades.
yeah. He's quite cool.
Flash, I want to say.
Yeah, the Flash. That's quite a cool photo.
That's
Sonic.
Hey.
Bowser.
That's your favourite, isn't it?
Yes.
Mo Salah. No.
Mo Farah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yay.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, there was a video of him doing the 10K. I found out on the Instagram as well in the end.
Yeah, but we didn't
I was
see
like,
him, so I don't
where
know if
was
that's
he?
from like last year and they just put it up.
Maybe, I don't know. It's
But,
power, isn't it?
It's quite funny because someone's already put this in the comments, but I think you'll know it anyway. Someone guessed I was going to put this up.
Charizard.
Charlie. However you say it.
Charizard.
Okay. Well,
That's out of Element.
Yeah,
Mental.
but I can't remember.
You're going to kick yourself because you love
What's
that
her
name.
name?
Oh yes, I know what it is. I know what it is because it's what I want to name one of the
No,
piggies.
she's not called Fire.
Oh, I think of another name for fire.
flame.
Begins with E.
You get the fire, but then underneath you get the
Jesus. Gareth's putting some questionable comments.
Amber.
Ember.
Amber. No, Amber.
Ember.
No,
Oh.
Amber.
Amber or Ember.
Amber.
Ember.
Amber.
Ember.
No. The other one. The other one.
You get dinosaurs.
Yeah, Amber.
Ember.
No, the other one.
Amber's the colour, but
Ember.
Do you know what her second name is?
Sure, what's the second name is?
I can't remember the second name.
It's something to do with light.
Ah,
It's something that light's measured in, I believe. Begins with L.
What?
No idea.
Yeah, I know it was about Mo Farah, Gareth. I just thought it was very questionable. I'm not going to put it on the screen. Do you want me to put up the name of the...
it's gonna
Yeah,
be.
go on.
I can't think.
Yeah, he's got that right. It was Lumen's, like Lumen. Ember Lumen.
Ember.
That was actually a really good film, I thought.
Oh, I did as well. I actually cried. I don't know if anyone else cried, but I did.
I
I think,
haven't seen it.
I think you'll get this last one.
Eddie Kidd.
Oh,
The motorbike guy, Eddie the Kid.
Is it?
Is it Eddie the Kid? Eddie the...
Because it's got an E and a K underneath.
Yeah, there you go.
it's definitely not Duke Kaboom.
No, he's based on him though. Ian, it's got an E and a K. You know what that is, don't you?
Eric,
I think you'll kick yourself if you don't get it.
Ernest.
It's not Eddie the Kid. I've got no idea. Oh, Evil Knievel.
Yeah, he used to jump through fire and stuff.
I was thinking of the British one.
Oh,
Yeah. Have you ever, on that subject, have you ever watched the Top Gear from a few years ago where they interviewed Eddie Kidd and it told the story of the rivalry between Eddie Kidd and Evil Knievel? It's a really good episode of Top Gear.
Who was Eddie Kidd?
He was the British equivalent of Evil Knievel, but he's actually better than him. So back in the 80s, was it? They had a bit of a jump off with the bikes to see who could get the furthest, and they sent it to Las Vegas. So they set it all up in Las Vegas as like a massive show thing that everybody was watching. And Eddie Kidd actually won. He actually beat Evil Knievel. But then
I didn't know if you were going to say it was rigged.
he then had a really bad accident a few years later, which basically paralyzed him for the rest of his life. He's still going now, but yeah, he's not ridden the bike for like 30 odd years.
That's a bit sad.
I'm not heard of that one. I'll have to watch that one if we can find it.
Don't know. We can probably find it on YouTube or something. Oh, an actual documentary about it.
It was a Top Gear episode, but basically the whole episode was about Eddie Kidd.
I remember that.
Yeah, was it not the most recent series, but the series before that?
It was last year's.
Basically, they at the end of the episode, they got all of Eddie Kidd's old friends and like people that ride motorbikes now doing stunt shows, and they put on a show just for him right at the end. It was like really good episode.
I'll try and find that.
Awesome. Yeah,
I've not
I'll
really
have to try
climbed the
and look
Grand
it
Tour
up.
yet either, so.
Yeah, we need to catch up with them, don't we?
But that was Alton Towers Fireworks and Run Alton Towers. Is there anything you want to say about Run Alton Towers?
No, put in little bits.
Never doing that
I
again.
put in little bits, but like I just said, I'm just mega proud of everyone that was running, and there's some people that have ended up running for charity, and I got a bit emotional because it's like it's all for a good cause, isn't it? And then obviously tomorrow, children in need. What are you doing
I will
for children
say,
in need?
I don't know if he's going to want me to mention his name, so I'm not going to mention his name, but there was well, it wasn't like a crash area, but it was like a caged off area where when the kids finished their race, they waited there for their parents to come and pick them up. And it was manned by one member of run through staff. And even the person I knew, even though it was their kid, just picked them up and put them over the fence and no one was questioning. So it was just a mess. That kid, like, if I want to say one bad thing, it was a big mess because there was just a bunch of people and there's this one member of staff trying to crowd these kids from not escaping. But I don't know what you can do about it. I don't know. It just seemed like, I think one thing went wrong in the morning and that just triggered everything to get delayed. And so we didn't get on rides. They didn't open the rides till like 12, half 12.
Yeah.
Did feel like they sold too many tickets for it as well. Certainly for
Definitely.
Certainly for the spectators, there seemed to be a lot of spectators there.
Yeah, it seemed like there were more spectators than runners this year, which wasn't the case last year.
Yeah. But it was all the good company when we went on the rides and everything.
Yeah, fireworks were really good.
It makes me sound slimy, but I am being genuine, honest.
And what did you think about fireworks?
What, me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've already put in my ideas. I've already.
It's going to be weird knowing that's.
Thank you very much.
Was that the first year they did that?
Did what?
VIP package for it.
No, they've done it. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Because I've never noticed.
Yeah,
but
because
never been to the front,
I
do
remember when I said when we had the crowd a couple of years ago, I went, they're after VIP? I don't know what they're on about. And we were just literally stood at that side where Spinball was, remember?
Yeah, because it was quite interesting that they turned around that whole tent back from Daz's games to hospitality suite so quick.
Yeah. I was thinking the other day that if we'd gone as a group and not had the VIP, we still would have had an awesome day. But
Yeah.
the experience was like nothing we've ever had at Towers before. It was just awesome. It was so good.
Ben spoke a lot about the poor organisation during my vlog. Run Alton Towers commented on my reel today saying they can't wait to watch.
Oops.
Well, they might learn from it. I don't know if I'll go next year just because it was one of those things where it was not a well-guarded secret, but it was quite nice that it wasn't busy. And now, obviously, the enthusiasts know about it, and
But
now
would you
everyone's going.
would you get more of a chance on Nemesis?
No, because there'd be a big
Is
queue
it
next
still
year.
closed or is it still open?
It'll be open next year, but I think that might make it even more busy because people go, "I want to ride Nemesis."
Nemesis.
But they
Well,
did
whatever
actually
name
have
it
the retro squad was actually closed by then, because I thought when they said that's the last chance to ride on Fireworks, are we going to get to ride it the week after? But no, it was actually closed.
Well, gone as well now. All three of them have been moved out.
Yeah, they've gone now.
Did you get VIP for other
Can you get
events
VIP?
for
I think you
Towers?
probably can. If people are willing to pay for it, they'll do anything on Towers.
See, I thought that's with you. If you get a platinum pass, isn't it? You get some VIP events that you go to.
I'm
Or
not
have
sure
I
about
got
that.
the wrong thing?
We've seen at Chessington, I think, or was it Legoland? Legoland it was, wasn't it? When we went to Legoland last time, there was like somebody leading some children around, and they were VIPs at the time.
Yeah.
They have VIP on this like highlighted vest thing.
Yeah, because they were getting all rides. It was kind of it was.
They
obviously
go
like
on something-
VIP experience.
Girl scared, saying there might be something that happens. So are you sure you want to go on that seat?
This is on the Dragon Coaster, isn't it? Yeah.
What, just that specific seat?
But what it was on the Dragon Coaster, you've got that bit of theme in it to first go through, haven't you?
Yeah.
The Lego, and during Halloween they have like flashing lights and make it into like a disco.
Oh, that's cool.
When you sit on the last 3 rows of the train, by the time the train goes around, all the lights go off, so you're in darkness. So the last 3 rows of the coaster are complete darkness. And she was trying to explain that to us, but
it wasn't to us. She was trying to encourage the VIP guests
To go at the
not
front.
to go in those rows. They
Right.
wanted to go in those rows because they wanted a better ride. They wanted a back row ride. But she was trying to encourage them to ride elsewhere on the ride because they wouldn't get to see the scenery, but without telling us not to go on those rows because we were already sitting in them. So she was kind of turning around to us going, "You'll be fine. Maybe you want to change rows." It was like the funniest situation ever.
they ended up going on the back, didn't they?
They did go on the back. Yeah.
I don't know if is there anything you want to add to Firework? I was going to ask the Joneses if there's anything they want to add to what we've talked about.
Anything you want to say about the fireworks? What was your favourite bit of the fireworks, like the whole day?
The curse bit at the end. The curse bit of the fire.
Oh, the actual fireworks.
Yeah.
Was that your favourite bit of the whole day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Carvery was my favourite bit of the whole day, obviously. Actually, no, sorry. I forgot about Wicker Man.
Which one was better? Which one was better?
So hard. It was my favourite ever day at Towers. That was, and it was just topped off by everything we did was good. So the food was good. The kind of the VIP stuff was awesome. The roller coaster ride at the end was just unbelievable. It's just the best day.
What was Laura's favourite bit?
I really liked having some nice, hot, tasty food in Towers. That was quite a novelty.
Yeah. That won't happen again.
And the being inside, because although we enjoyed fireworks last year, it was pretty hard on your body standing all day because they basically take away all the picnic benches and everything, don't they, on fireworks to make sure there's space for everyone. So I remember thinking, oh my God, I can't stand anymore. And I've had like friends say that they paid to go to the fireworks and then didn't last the full day because they just didn't want to be on their feet anymore. I was thinking, yeah, it really made a difference in that way that you actually had somewhere nice and cozy to go and sit down.
Yeah.
And then what was your highlight of the actual fireworks show? Ginger Brown asking.
I thought the explosions.
The Emily Alton bit of the water, that was my favourite bit. What about you, Darcy? Oh, you said, didn't you? It was the
Emily Alton bit.
Yeah, that was cool.
I think I would put the curse over the Mutiny Bay bit, but the Mutiny Bay bit was memorable for thinking that, we'd seen something go wrong. That was.
I love the curse so much. And I think the way they did that element of the fireworks kind of was perfect. That was exactly what they needed to do for the curse.
And are you looking forward to Christmas? Rachel said she's going to miss Lightopia.
No.
I'm a bit confused as to what we're going to, if I'm honest. Because originally they sold the tickets with a market and CBBS.
Yeah, apparently there's not a market now, but I know Furchester's open. I've checked.
So it's just CBBS and Marauders Mayhem and Heave Ho, I think. I think that's it.
Yeah, so I wonder if that means there's no food offering as well, because the
but-
food offering was, although they opened that little cafe on Tower Street, the Tower Street restaurant, most of the food offering was actually in the market, wasn't it?
And that was kind of part of the event. It was sitting down, having a bit of food, having a nice warm drink when it was cold. But if that's not going to be there, then it's not really an event. I would have not done the event if it was going to be that situation. We might be surprised. We might have more stuff.
It'll be interesting to see what people think when they vlog about it, if that is all it is.
Yeah, it does feel like it's going to be a fairly weak event. And I know I saw on socials the other day that the pirate event that they do in February for half term, that's been scaled back with the look of it. We really enjoyed that when we went in February this year. It was kind of a really nice little event. Yeah, it was small. It was limited to Mutiny Bay, but it was an awesome little event. But it sounds like this time they're only allowing hotel guests to do it again. It doesn't sound like it's going to be open to normal pass holders, which is a bit of a shame.
That's such a shame. That's annoying.
Did you need to say about your photo challenge?
Anyway, photo challenge, obviously November is light. So if you want to tag me, Stacey_L2E, it's still running, obviously, till the end of November. And then the last one is different. And then if we do that many more, I actually already have some things ready for next year. So obviously make sure you tag us, Love to Explore, and tag me as well. And I'll make sure I'll put it in my stories and highlights.
And
nice little shout out on Insta.
And next week, Sibby's Vlogs is coming back. And if you remember last time when he came on, I don't know what the name for the group is, but he's part of a group of people who know a lot about showmen and
Yeah,
and the fairs and stuff. So there's a few other people coming on with him. And they're going to talk about Goose Fair, which we've talked about a bit before. And they're going to talk about Ilkeston Fair and some other fairs.
And there's Loughborough Fair at the moment going off.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I think there's some other rides going off at they call it Winter Wonderland in Nottingham.
Nottingham, yeah, there's a Winter Wonderland.
Yeah, there's a Winter Wonderland in Nottingham. So there's quite a few different sort of like fairs and rides going off as well.
Yeah, there's some in Blackpool, Christmas by the Sea. They've got the big Starflyer there again.
Might do that.
Yeah.
You have to do the Starflyer.
I've never done a Starflyer, and the thought of it absolutely terrifies me.
Well, no one's ever died on one, have they?
I'll be the first.
Long Eaton Fair started today. Long Eaton's quite posh. That's where
that's where
Ben grew up. It's quite posh. So, we were talking about that the weekend. And Reading Fair's on as well. Did you?
Good to know. Good to know all these different ones. We're heading up to the Blackpool one in a week or two. Oh, fantastic!
Oh, we're there on Saturday, Ginger and Brown.
And Ginger Brown are going to be talking about. He's going to be talking about his spatting tomorrow on the show, I bet.
Trafford Centre, Tinseltown 2.
There's a fun house in Trafford Centre that Andy's told me about that I want to visit at some point.
Ooh.
Not got see-through sides either.
What's that?
It's not got see-through sides.
Oh, really? Because that was embarrassing last time.
We'll have to get calendars and start booking places for next year. And then get sorted.
Yeah.
Oh, we're off to Chessington Market tomorrow. Is that what it says? Chessy Market? Chester Market, sorry, tomorrow. I can just briefly see it, but there's those little emojis in the corner of my phone, so I can't quite see it from here. So I was like, Chessy something or other?
Does Darcy know the catchphrase before we go?
I'll see you in the review.
I'll be a bit annoyed if you can remember Michael Stacey's and you can't remember ours. Do you know what this?
Yeah.
What is it then?
See you in the review, but for now we're gone.
Yay!
Yay!